much, Ambassador. Greetings to everybody. I'm David Nabarro and have worked a lot with Earthrin on the whole challenge of trying to ensure that different parts of society work together so that people in need can access the nutritious food they require for a good life. And I've always been impressed by one really quite basic feature of Earthrin, and that is that she wants things to work properly for people. And it's super important that we start with that way of thinking and working. Our whole focus here is on food systems that work well for people, whoever they are, wherever they are, and work well for them into the future. Food systems that keep us well nourished and don't damage our health. Food systems that protect our precious environment and don't break it so that it is less valuable for generations that will follow us. Food systems that are fair to the people who work in them, some of them the worst paid people in the world, a lot of them women, a lot of them children, and wanting to be sure that food systems are good for the people in them. Food systems that are good for farmers. Food systems that are good for society. And it was that realization that there are an awful lot of people who would like to be able to influence on how their food systems are working. And yet they feel powerless. They feel that it's all in the hands of unseen people in hedge funds or big corporations or large organizations or giant farmers with masses of machinery. And they say, how can ordinary people be in touch with the way their food is produced, the way their food reaches them, the way their food actually affects them and their bodies? And so that's led to this extraordinary movement since 2018 of dialogue about the future of food, bringing together all the different people who matter. And that's so much what Earthrin's just been saying, and I just want to really emphasize it. Having a real diversity makes a huge difference, and we're going to talk about that. Including everybody, particularly the people who are most in difficulty and who are most anxious about their food systems. They all need to be there, even if they don't agree. In fact, disagreement is what we want in these dialogues. And thirdly, really focusing on where we want to be by 2030, that important year when the Sustainable Development Goals come into play. That's where we need to be focused. Get that attention laser-like on 2030, and then think through what are the changes, adaptations, adjustments, and ways of working together that can perhaps evolve to help us to get to 2030. That's Earthrin. That's why I love the dialogues. And I've seen through dialogue that people can unlock from positions that they've held, sometimes for decades, and say, well, why not? Let's look at it different. And you, I think, have often said to me, that's what really matters when we're trying to change food systems, is learning to see things from other people's points of view. Back to you.